Radhika ma'am, first of all, thank you so much for agreeing to do this with us and giving us your time. Very happy to have you and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, for the uninitiated and for our viewers, Radhika Gupta ma'am is MD and CEO at Edelweiss AMC, one of the youngest women CEOs right now in the country, Vice Chairman at Amphi, and author to the book Limitless. So, Radhika ma'am, I was really intrigued by your journey and have been spending past 48 hours seeing as many videos I can of yours. So, Radhika ma'am, please tell us about your journey. I have read that three distributors came for the Mumbai branch meeting. From there to being one of the most decorated speakers in the country, people queuing up for your events. How has been your journey, ma'am?
It's been lovely. It's of course been challenging, but I don't think any interesting or great journey. Not that one has achieved anything great yet is without obstacles. And I think the job of growing a young brand, is always difficult, but it's exhilarating because you go exactly as you said from those three distributors to making your pitch, building confidence in yourself and in others. And just to see that constant growth is very, very exciting. I think the key is not to give up in the process.
So, ma'am, let's move on to something which really caught my fancy. Being misfit in an organization, you yourself consider to be a misfit, and as far as I know, within Edelweiss, there is a marketing head who has little experience in marketing prior to this stint. A Mumbai head that does not belong to the territory of Mumbai. What exactly goes through your mind, or what is the hiring thought process?
I think we hire people. So if you look at most people at Edelweiss Mutual Fund and you ask them why they work here, I don't think they work because they have it easy, because you don't have it easy. We are not a bank-backed brand. But they work for one thing, and that is growth and legacy. That they have the opportunity to build, a brand and hopefully grow themselves. And we give these young people who are talented incredible opportunities, whether it's to lead at a national level, whether it's to work on a project like Bharat Bond. So we give them a lot of responsibility. And I think what we look for in people are a few things. One is hunger and ambition, and that's extremely important, because if that's there, other things will fall into place. And second is open-mindedness and agility, because as a brand, we like to do things differently. And third, as I said, is a certain amount of resilience, because this isn't an easy journey. So you have to fall and fail and come back up again. And you need that. And I think when we find people with these three things, everything else we believe can be figured out.
And if I have to extend this thought to the investment philosophy as well, do the same principles stay true over there as well?
Yes and no. I think if you look at the same principles, of course, agility is extremely important in the investment business. You have to have a core sense of beliefs. You have to have a style that you stick through. So that requires a certain amount of resilience, a certain amount of conviction. But you also have to have the agility to adapt to market conditions. I think the investment business and markets are dynamic, market cycles are getting shorter. The first quality I said is hunger and ambition. Now, I want to calibrate that in the context of investments. I think we do pride ourselves on fund performance, on product innovation, and we have done many industry firsts. International funds, a new approach in balanced advantage fund, target maturity funds, lots of them. But it's not ruthless ambition. It is also responsible ambition. So one of the things that we say in our equity funds is that we will never be the top performing fund year after year. But interestingly, in a fund like Edelweiss Mid Cap Fund, we are the number one over 10 years. We may never be stand out in any single year. So it is calibrated ambition. It is consistent performance that we try to drive.
Got it, ma'am. Got it. So now, let me now take a tour into your personal life, okay? And have read about you being born in Pakistan, spent some time in Nigeria, Italy, studied in Wharton, USA, University of Pennsylvania, spent some time in Italy too. So literally, you could have chosen any geography and decided to work over there. But what caught your fancy in the Indian markets, and What made you work in domestic areas?
I think very simple. The growth and the opportunity. I mean, today we talk about India and the economy being an oasis of hope, an island of hope in the middle of all the turmoil that's happening in the US and Europe. Now, obviously, at 24, one didn't think as deeply, but even then, it was very obvious. I mean, and I graduated in 2005, and we were in the middle of that 2003 to 7 sort of big uptick in markets when everyone was discovering BRICS as a concept. It was very obvious that there's tremendous opportunity in India, and I continue to believe that today, that no matter whatever sector you choose, whether you're running a beauty company or a mutual fund business, or a travel company or an insurance company, there is under penetration. So there is an opportunity. किसी भी field में there is an opportunity if you want it enough. And that size of opportunity and that ability to make impact at scale, to see extraordinary growth, that you can have in very few markets. And of course, this is a home market. I am also the daughter of someone who's represented India for many, many years. So, perhaps that also comes naturally.
So yes, you said India is the market. It is a place to be in. There are a lot of growth triggers that you see over here. But you have also seen this market being evolved over time. Okay, so how do you see this going further, and what roles will fintech play over here?
Oh, so I think the market has definitely evolved. And I think it's evolving at the right place in the right direction. Capital markets in themselves are, younger in India. Financial literacy is newer, but it's evolving at a rapid pace. Newer asset classes are becoming relevant, whether it is global investing, which nobody talked about 10 years ago, or commodity investing. These are new sort of things. In our own industry, the whole passive fund space has evolved so rapidly. And I think the consumer mindset is a lot more open. As a younger breed of investors joins the market, they're also significantly more open about the kind of products they want to see and the kind of brands they want to work with. I think 10 years ago, you had to be a very established brand to get any consumer traction. But now, consumers are a lot more meritocratic. So, they are open to working with a brand who's delivering them a proposition. Otherwise, a company like ours, I don't think would have got the scale that we would have. And fintechs, in my view, play a very important role in this democratization because they finally provide access of financial product transparently and widely to a large section of Indians, many who didn't have. Now, because of fintechs, I don't think access is a problem. Many years ago, a brand like us would have had to have 200 branches and an army of salespeople to be relevant. And that's certainly not the case anymore because, truly every mobile phone in some sense has become a branch for us and a salesperson for us. So the democratization of financial products, I think fintechs have, enabled in a great way.
Now let's move on to the area which is slightly more fun, casual, and that really caught my eye, by the way, when I was going through your LinkedIn post. Something called as Chutney Award. What is this Chutney Award, and what exactly is the thought behind it? Have you won it, by the way?
I've already won one. It's fascinating that I think so. I've won one for being too active on social media. That should not be a surprise, and I'm sure I'll continue to win many. Incidentally, senior people are not even allowed to be on the jury of Chutney Awards. But one of the reasons we chutney actually in our word means unnecessary complexity. It's something our former COO invented, and since then we came up with the Chutney Awards. But one of the things we do believe is that work should be fun. I think the workplace should be light, and the Chutney Awards are extremely popular. They're actually hosted, this is going to sound funny, by our head of compliance, who's also got a tremendous sense of humor. I think the workplace can always do with the sense of humor.
He's a stand-up comedian.
He's a compliance officer and a stand-up comedian.
It's quite
It's
polarized.
a pretty deadly combination.
So Radhika ma'am, taking this element of candidness ahead, can we do a quick rapid fire? So I have certain set of questions prepared for you. let it be straight from your heart. Okay,
Sure.
you can think over it, but try to be as candid as
No,
possible.
no, we'll be rapid. We'll have fire.
Yes. Your biggest investment success?
I think just keeping things simple. I've done a SIP into a balanced advantage fund for countless years, and my XIRR is 15%. I mean that seems good.
So one mistake in investing that
Not doing asset allocation, and I learned the mistake, the problems of this in 2008. 100% equity.
many people look up to you for inspiration, including me. But who do you look up to?
Oh, I don't have a single role model. I think I try to find something good in everybody. I mean, if you were to ask me one name, I've always said Mr. Nandan Nilekani for I think the contributions he's made both to the private sector and public sector.
Now, assuming I hand over your time machine, which takes you back 20 years. Okay, so what will be that one piece of advice that you will give to your younger self?
Have self confidence. That's the advice I always think, because I think in your 20s you are a very shaky individual. You're easily influenced. So a certain amount of self confidence, that I can do it and I can do it my way, is extremely important.
In 2017, 5,000 crores of AUM was worth retiring. Ki yes, we have arrived. But now, currently, the AUM that is around is, I think, 1 lakh or 97,000 crores. Where do we go on from here, ma'am?
God, I don't have a number in mind, because I think the mutual fund industry is boundless in terms of opportunity. But I guess the next target, as I've said a lot, is to see Edelweiss Mutual Fund in the top 10 asset managers in India. I think we're 12th today. We'll hopefully get there soon.
Loved the responses and candidness with which you answered, Radhika ma'am. Yes, loved the conversation and thank you so much. Any closing thoughts, remarks for our viewers?
No, I think markets go up and down, but it's important to be balanced. It's important to have a calm head on your shoulder, and it's important to stay invested, because we're fortunate to live in a country like India, where if you are there long enough, I mean, as I say, chappal ghiste rahoge, to you will do well.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving us your time and look forward to many more interactions and your journey leading and championing the finance industry and the women entrepreneurship in the country.
Thank you.